on the D&D game that we play.
Lord God.
Let's call it Gatewatch.
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 So we had
Gay. We put the gay in Gatewatch, baby. When my kids watch this 20 years from now, it'll be very disappointing.
Jed is unaffiliated.
Don't kid yourself. They're not going to sit here and watch 30 hours of us role-playing D&D.
I will lose
You're
my...
going to hop on their spaceships, be like, that's lame, Dad, and leave.
That's right.
That's my position as mayor of some moon city.
Right.
Listen, they're going to go to their local GameStop, Gilded and Gold.
Yep.
Buy the single share that I'm buying tomorrow.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, that's right.
GameStop will literally go to the moon when Elon Musk buys it out.
Yes. That's right. That's right.
Our children will play yet another remastered edition of Skyrim.
I mean, at least. There's no more Elder Scrolls games. It's just Skyrim renditions from here on out.
Yeah, just remastering of Skyrim over and over.
Skyrim 3021.
That's right.
I miss Skyrim. My last Morrowind experience was Morrowind. So I didn't even get Skyrim or Oblivion. I didn't do those.
If you're looking for a black hole down which to throw your youth, then I highly recommend it.
Yep.
Yes. It was pretty good.
I failed a lot of college classes because of Skyrim.
I thought it was just guitar.
Wow, that too.
That's one too many. Yeah. So previously in Gatewatch, the gang showed up to the gates of Retria. No.
Of Delos.
Delos. Yeah.
There you go.
I don't know why I had a note for Retria, so I said Delos. And as they've had a long night on the sea, so they go to find a bar in which to rest and rehabilitate. Along the way, Bronder shows them some familiar sights because he has a long history in the city between 4 or 5 years. Doing services to the city and the surrounding area. And so while vendors are preparing their tents and booths for the upcoming festivities of the Harvest Festival, the group goes to the tavern.
The
Windy Goose.
That's exactly right.
Wendy's.
That's right.
Let me take this time to say it's sponsored by the Double Baconator.
Listen, Wendy's is crazy enough to actually just sponsor things like this. So
And
salt fries.
Go invest in Wendy's stock.
A Wendy's stock.
And so
probably wouldn't be a bad call. I need to reconnect. My camera decided to die.
Oh, oops.
Nice.
And so there we get some information about what's going on in the area, that the soil has not been great lately, that and we also find out that a lot of the harvest is being shipped off to Lawn. And we later find out that those are being fed to refugees, which the homebodies of Delos wish it was staying with them, which is a legitimate concern. And so, but then we also meet some tieflings, Dahlia. Do y'all see Drew? I don't see Drew.
Yeah, I don't know. Okay.
I didn't hear it from Drew. I figured I said something wrong. He was trying to correct me. So,
there we go.
Dahlia
okay.
and Dahlia says that Lord Edwin had
Leo and Titus.
had saved her life, and she repaid the favor by keeping peace in the city, which is a similar feature to what the hole that Brondir left. So I'm not sure how long she's been there. But there's a lot of probing into what's in the swamp, and we find out that there is a witch there, and that nobody really knows where she's located or really what she does. She's kind of always been left off to her own. But there is old men on the edge of the swamp that are filled by some Malchites, probably. And it's a 1 to 1.5 day travel from where we're currently at. And we have been recruited by Dahlia to go and help and drive them out. And then the other two tieflings, Titus and Leo, traveled here. They kind of came to the city through connections through Titus, and was kind of shot around. Also, Dahlia is very well known around the city. Everybody enjoys having her around. She's very well liked, which is interesting for a tiefling because usually they're outsiders. And so this is a cool little experience. We also hear of the Aarakocra.
That's right.
And which are bird people, and Aarakocra are not necessarily foreign to the place, but they're not common. And so as of late, there have been more Aarakocra around and active. They've been seen landing at Lord Edmund's house, and that Dahlia says that their temple isn't very far from here, but we don't know where it is. This could be in the clouds. It could be invisible under a spell. We're not really sure. Also the witch isn't really human. She's some kind of a reptile snake monster. And Old Grim Knox is her name, and she usually keeps to herself. So, and by Bronder's accounts, they didn't interact with her because she didn't really interact with them. It was kind of a mutual agreement. And then while they're talking and Brondir is getting asked a bunch of questions because I can't remember the tiefling, and one of the tieflings was asking a lot of questions to Brondir, and he was like dipping out because he doesn't really want to be known right now. Kind of wants to do some reconnaissance first, and he slips out and goes and checks in using speak with animal. Well, actually, he uses what is it called where you become the animal?
It's beast sense, I thought.
Beast sense, yeah. He uses beast sense to see through the eyes of the dove that he purchased, and goes and lands on Edwin's window, where that's where we find out that what the farmers are upset about and what's actually going on. And seeing Edwin's reaction afterwards shows that he's not really a fan of what's going on. It seems like it's thrust upon him. It's out of his control, and he's kind of taking the heat for it. And then Brondir asks Aphelion to come with him to a special place in his past, which is what I've called Mother Tree. I don't know if that's what Drew wants to call it or not, but a very old tree. It's on the edge of the city, where Brondir and his former love, Nadia, spent a lot of time and even engraved their initials into the bark. And Brondir found that Nadia had passed away, and
we don't know that.
Not passed away, but she had come back to visit in her later years.
There you go.
Yeah. So, because the tree doesn't know if she had been married, if she had died, if she had kids.
Right.
All she knows is that she remembered us when we were young, and then had come in her later years and spent time there. And as a gift, the tree gave Brondir a fruit of the tree, which was very awesome. And so the tree also told Aphelion that the soil is, I think she said sour.
Sour or bitter, I think.
Bitter, yeah. The soil tastes bitter. And so that's further confirmation that there's something going on in the area. And likely, if we can figure out what's going on with the soil source, it might have the same thing with the wind temple, and also relieve the tensions that are the drought of crops that are happening in this region and also doing Central Milan. And then, there's a conversation that Jella has with Bertrand, and he
The
kind
tree.
of, what? Decree? Is that what you said?
No, continue.
Oh,
It looks.
There was something with the tree.
the tree. We already
Oh
talked
well, there was another tree, but
Oh, there's another tree. Okay,
Yes.
continue.
about a different tree.
and it
Okay.
looks like Jet's camera's frozen.
Oh no, is it?
Oh, yeah, it is
Oh,
actually.
it's still moving.
I just thought you were very.
Okay.
There you go. Okay.
How's
you
that?
Yeah.
And then the notes that I have on that are that he and Felix used to travel around to different gates, and that this world, this plane, could potentially have hundreds of gates. And his words are resistance is futile. Very self-destructive, pessimistic view on the attempt, because Phalian Rochella is very adamant about stopping this issue, and Bertrand is more like, well, you can try, but you're just going to fail. And so, some good story and dialogue in there. And one of the things that stood out to me was Chella said, what are we supposed to do then? And Bertrand says, I suppose you could run. That's what the Everqueen did. And then he said, perhaps we could reverse the course, destroy Malcor and Pelora, but that's naive. And says it's an inevitable cycle. In the end, we just saw a brief glimpse of the amount of worlds and places that have been consumed and destroyed. What makes you think that? What makes you so different than all the other heroes that come before you? So a challenge by Bertrand for sure, but definitely a look into this has been going on much longer than any of us have realized, and it's a much bigger plane to realize as well. But this gave me an idea that I might have to talk to Felix about with later. Then I feel like something came after that. Gerbo, you did something, right?
Yeah, but didn't you kill a tree?
We're already
She-
kind of dying.
It was like a dead tree, but almost dead tree. She went off, angry.
Yeah, and then that's
You
right.
She
reached into the
communed with
ground.
nature, and nature roared and was angry, and she roared and she was angry, and she channeled, like, I guess it was like her anger went into that tree, and it just kind of just blew, like, tore itself up, basically.
Definitely.
Yeah, rock on.
Very
So metal.
Very metal.
So metal.
Down with it.
I would call it emo, but that's
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then Gerbo was in the tavern, spoke in Thieves' Cant,
Oh, that's right.
and talked with one of the local thieves. He tried to play a ball game with me.
Yeah,
I stole his wallet,
that's right.
per usual, and got
Just Gerbo things.
Yeah, just Gerbo things. Got the 411 on the Thieves Guild gossip and what's going on in that world, and it's almost non-existence in this community compared to what I'm used to.
Yeah.
And found out that everybody hangs out at the watermill, the old watermill building. And so I went up there and spoke with the who was I'm forgetting his name, but was the leader of at least local Sid, who is kind of in charge of the Thieves Guild, or was assuming that role. And when I approached, I got a knife poked in my back, and after I teleported inside, and that was pretty sweet.
Listen, this just sounds more and more like just some kind of anime character. Like after I teleported inside and
Exactly. I get a knife poked in my back, and then my eyes go really big, and then I get like a little like thing around the top of my head that's like no.
yeah, right there you go. Yeah.
And so I proceeded to talk to Sid about any like upcoming jobs and who's funding them. And it seems like the farmers are going to try and cause some sort of commotion or uprising through the Thieves Guild, and put the leader of the town in a bad situation. So I talked to Sid about, convinced him that since we were able to take care of the pirate situation, if he would give me a chance on taking care of this situation as well, at least hold off on accepting any jobs for the town leader situation.
Right.
He seemed open to it, although you can't trust a Thieves Guild person.
Can't trust a hoe.
Can't trust a hoe. So,
As Gerbo well knows.
yeah. So I'm not, then I used Shadow Blade and cut the blade that was in my bag.
That's so
Yeah.
so over the top.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the person like descended into the shadows, like, whatever. Like they're like a coward that
What
they
else
are.
did you expect?
Right.
Cowards.
No one accuses thieves of being brave, okay?
That's true. They're not murderers. Oh wait. And then I went back, and that was the end scene for me.
Right. If I remember correctly, the last scene we ended on, well, there's two. Chella, as she was kind of exploring the kind of awake in the middle of the night as the town was kind of, gearing up festivities and stuff, she ended up spotting what looked like Aarakocra flying through the air.
Yeah.
Also, Brondir did go to the family plot of the Zonaris family, the cemetery, and he did not find Nadia's tomb, or rather her a gravestone.
Yep.
Nadia's sister and a name I did not recognize.
Younger kids.
Right.
Nadia's might be Nadia's or her sister's child. Yeah, a child of Nadia or her sister.
Yeah.
Right.
Her niece.
Mysterious.
And that is where we ended.
And scene.
It was a packed episode.
Yeah, it's what
a lot happened. Yes,
it was
I
great.
took notes.
Yeah, a lot happened
because there was a lot that happened.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool.
All right.
All right.
Did we miss anything for Aphelion?
Did we?
I think we did.
She made the tree wave at that horrified villager.
Yes, that was great.
Did it for the memes. Yeah.
That was great. That was awesome.
Yeah.
Oh.
Cool.
That's true. That happened. So.
Oh, I need to turn on my Discord.
Well, I don't have any music prepped.
Okay, we'll just play that one track over and over.
I think it's true.
How do you get to that? Oh, right here. Jukebox. That's the GM play background music.
Right.
Jukebox hero.
He had
Interesting.
one guitar.
Oh, that's awesome.
Trying to find.
I just want to make sure I'm connected here.
Yeah.
Yeah, we good.
I wonder, what does this sound like?
Move him away. So
Okay.
Chet and Gareth don't know this, but the thing I think about every time I hear Jukebox Hero is Derek Passalacqua.
Oh, really?
And we were at a football practice and we're standing on the sideline, and Derek starts talking to me, but he's speaking the lyrics of Jukebox Hero, which I knew like the chorus, but like there's a lot of words that I didn't know like the lyrics to the song. I mean, it was junior
How
high.
does it start again?
I have no idea.
In a town without a name. No, that's not how it goes. I think it's the second verse. But anyway,
That's hilarious.
so anyway, he just starts talking the words to Jukebox here, and I had no idea what was going on. And then he gets to the chorus, and so that's what I think about every time. And y'all don't know Derek Passalacqua, but he was a character.
Yes, he was.
I heard some
like
tunes.
So Derek, if you're watching this, thanks for
By some chance, if he's
By
watching.
some chance.
So this is a nice.
Yeah, this is good.
This is very idyllic. Anyway, I guess we'll pick up with Chella.
Oh.
Chella, you spotted this Aarakocra. What do you do?
Everyone said that they had been seen flying over the town pretty frequently lately, right?
Correct. There have been more sightings, certainly.
More, okay. So not really clear how often this opportunity is going to present itself. Yeah, I think she hauls herself up off of her sad, sorry butt and starts kind of walking the street, trying to keep it in her line of sight.
Okay.
Like trying to walk towards an edge of town, like in the direction it's headed.
All right. It looks as if it's heading towards the inwards into the peninsula.
Okay.
So it's heading towards, well, out like onto the peninsula, if that makes any sense.
From the Osh.
Okay.
From like the mainland, because Abdeos is kind of near the mainland.
Okay.
If that trying to make sense geographically here.
Can you put it on the map?
Yeah,
My brain is tired.
Sure. Let me close a few pictures here. There we go. Wait. I need to take you guys with me. There we go.
Oh. Okay.
So what I mean is they're heading that away.
Ah.
Mhm.
That way.
Gotcha.
Mhm.
That way.
Okay.
Mhm.
All right.
So
Nice.
Chella heads west out of the town, and as she comes to the edge of the town, she shakes out her arms and rolls her neck and spreads her arms out and forms into her wild shape as a giant black eagle.
Black
Nice.
Eagle.
Yeah, and takes to the sky.
Okay.
That's legit.
Yeah,
All right. Druids, man.
I know. Caw!
What a mighty roar. Okay. So
It's a black crow named Lauren.
Yeah.
Yeah. She's working on it. And she flies in the air. I think she's trying to be a bit stealthy. I think that she's not trying to approach the Aarakocra. I think she's trying to hang back in the shadows of the clouds and see where it's going.
roll stealth.
Yeah. I guess I have to roll stealth as the giant eagle.
Yep.
I doubt this is a very stealthy eagle. Is that dexterity? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did that roll?
Yes. So it'd be, I don't know what the eagle's stat is for stealth.
So that's just the dex. There's not any additional bonuses or subtractions for under skills for stealth.
Okay. So it was a 16 then. All right.
Yeah.
So for now, at least, it looks as if the Aarakocra has not shifted course. And it continues flying along the... Uh-oh. Cameras.
Oh, yeah, I see that. Is it ours or is it Zach's?
Yours. There we go.
Everyone reconnects. Oh
Right.
man, Zach is really acting up. Zach's like invisible now.
Oh, wow. So you want to... So you're able to tail this Aarakocra, just hanging back. It looks as if it's flying pretty quickly. So it looks as if it looks as if it's probably, its attention is not necessarily on trying to be look around it.
Any pursuers?
Right.
Okay.
So
I'm gonna begin scanning the ground for. Actually, I'm gonna begin scanning the ground and the sky to see if there's any like distinct features or buildings or structures like in the distance that it seems to be making for.
Perception.
Yeah. Luckily, eagles have decent perception. Oh my god, unless you roll really bad.
Still equals up to being pretty okay. So
Yeah.
That's crazy.
as you're flying overhead, you
Let's see.
see you see a great deal of farmland, cropland that kind of lays out before you on the ground. You see spot a few just homesteads and such. But as you get closer to the coast, closer to the edge of the peninsula itself, there starts to be less and less just people, trees, plants, crops, any of that. It's more barren land, like grass, rocks. You see several rocks, actually, that are kind of just strewn about the peninsula. And whenever you get towards the very edge, you see what looks to be a large circle of stones. As you look through the sky, you see that the clouds are very peculiar, I guess would be a word for it. It's like they're all kind of focused on a point or swirling around a point in the area.
Okay.
And you can feel the wind start to pick up as you get closer. There's more of a wind that's blowing into you.
Are there any trees or kind of sheltered areas on the ground nearby where I can land and be hidden?
There are, like I said before, there are large like stones and rocks and such that kind of litter the area.
Okay.
So you could probably land there. Because it looks like the Aarakocra you're pursuing has begun to land around that edge, or the cliffside, I guess.
Okay. Chella's going to try to make, this is not her strong suit, a discreet landing in the shadow a ways away from the circle so that she can observe what the Aarakocra does.
This is going to be like, normally I think I've made you roll acrobatics on your landings.
Yeah.
This is like stealth and acrobatics.
Okay. Well, they're all dexterity.
You destroy the circle around.
Boom!
You destroy the entire wind temple.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
You domino effect the stone age.
Oh
Not
no!
great.
You're worse.
Great.
Could be
It
worse.
could be worse.
So as you were landing, so you were trying to land yourself behind a large pile of stones. And as you do, once again, you can't quite seem to get the feeling of like landing properly. And so, as your big taloned feet hit the ground, they kind of you realize that you ended up landing a little too fast, and you almost hit yourself onto one of the stones in front of you. So basically, there was a lot of noise made as gravel and rock and stuff was being kicked up as you were trying to slow yourself down from the landing.
Okay. All right. Then Chella's going to like quickly morph back into her human form.
Okay.
And kind of duck in behind the rocks.
Okay. So, as you're ducking in, you're going to hear footsteps of something approaching your direction.
This was a very bad idea. Chella will try to hide.
All right, that's another stealth check.
Okay. Why did I do this? This is how I die.
All right.
Chella holds a large rock in front of her face.
You trying to be a rogue. You trying to be a rogue, but
oh man,
don't look like one.
Listen, if you can't see them, then they can't see you.
Right. She closes her eyes really tight. Yeah.
All right. Well,
God.
So as you're hiding between the stones, the footsteps get closer, and in the clearing you can see. You get a better look at this Aarakocra.
Oh, dang, that's cool.
That's
Love
cool.
that. Love that.
That's really cool. The barn owl.
Chella, about to get mauled with a club.
Yeah, that's what I think that snake club's the end of me. Or that's an owl eye club.
Yeah.
Leak.
Super cool though.
That's a great illustration.
You gonna die. They gonna find you. They gonna find you.
So it sits there, and it kind of, like an owl would. It kind of tilts in its head in different directions as it's kind of trying to scan around and hear. And it sits around for a few minutes.
Chella, what are you doing? Mm-hmm. Okay, you're making me nervous. I'm really nervous now. Okay, Chella does not feel like she's got a great chance alone against this dude. She's going to quietly move out of her hiding place. Ooh. She's not quietly in like a trying to continue to remain hidden. She's going to reveal herself.
Okay.
Do it slowly in a disarming kind of way. And she holds her palms out in front of her at her sides.
As you do, he's going to lower his staff and point it at you and say, "Who are you?"
Good evening, brother. I've come out here to commune with the waves and the sea, as is the custom of my druidic people.
It's going to be tilting its head again in those weird owl directions. Druid? What circle?
I am from the Circle of Dusk, from the Redwoods. You may know the Order of Twilight.
Have not heard those names in some time.
It's been too long that we've been isolated away from other druids and other communities. I am in this land as an emissary from my aunt Valkyra, the leader of our circles. I miss my people and my customs. I mean no intrusion. I'm only here in this place, which seems to possess some certain kind of undetectable energy that inspires me.
When you speak, there's a sudden gust of wind that blows from the side, and it blows with enough force that the wings and on the Aarakocra kind of like his wings kind of slightly go off kilter, and he puts the staff down to kind of steady himself.
Hmm.
He says, "First time I have seen a druid of your type. Why are you drawn to this land?"
You have seen the trees dying. You have seen the crops wither. You have seen the dark things rising from places, things that should never rise again. As you fly over the land, I'm certain of it.
You speak of the discordance.
My people safeguard the fragile boundaries between life and death. This is the life nature which we worship and draw from, and it has been tainted by forces outside of our world. I am an emissary from my people trying to set this right and protect our planet and all that we hold dear.
Roll persuasion.
Chella's also not very charismatic. Oh, dang it. Jet had such a good argument.
It checks out. Oh, God.
You speak of
The
the
fate of the wolves.
discordance. You know of what you speak. I have seen the decay you speak of. We must, however, we cannot have outsiders here, now.
She holds her hands up in a defensive posture. As I said, I meant no intrusion. This place was merely drawing me. I am happy to leave.
We are aware of problem. We seek a remedy of our own. Please, return from whence you came.
Chella nods and slowly begins to walk. She walks away from him and back in the direction of town, kind of keeping her eyes on him.
Okay. He still kind of has his eyes locked on you, and he has the staff again pointed in your direction.
Okay. She's going to keep walking back towards town.
Okay.
Backwards?
No sudden moves.
At a certain point, as you're pretty far away, he's going to stop pointing his staff at you and turn back to where he was going.
Okay. Sorry, just 1 second. There might be one other thing I want to do. Chella's going to cast gaseous form on herself.
Beautiful.
If I can do this, it says a creature you touch.
Yeah, no, I am. So, funny little story. A character in I was playing a character in Brett's campaign, and I got in the jaws of a dragon. And in order to escape, I used gaseous form and got out.
Nice.
So, Anyway,
Okay, so you're definitely you're not gonna be a hypocrite. You're gonna let me do this.
no, yes, I will.
Okay.
Just know that you're going to be traveling very slowly.
Oh, I may not keep the gaseous form for that long. I don't know. I think I just wanna be out of his line of sight.
Sure. Okay.
Yeah. I don't know if I have perception or if I can actually see anything when I'm in this state.
I think I could when I.
It just says I can't talk or manipulate objects, but it doesn't say that I'm unaware of what's going on around me.
Yeah, no, you can. It would make any sense
Yeah.
otherwise. No, you can move and stuff. Yeah.
Okay. I would like to remain kind of where I am and try to observe the Aarakocra as he approaches the stone circle from afar.
Okay. So you're a gaseous form. I was about to say, a gust of wind blows again, and now you're blown off course. And it's kind of I wouldn't quite say a cyclone. It's more like there was conflicting like air or winds that kind of blew into each other, and so you kind of got blown off into the air.
Okay.
That's cool.
Great.
So you're a bit disoriented, but you can still so roll perception again, just to kind of see if you can gain of. Man, you've had to make so many rolls.
I know. I've been playing real D&D. I'm just
not great today.
stinking it up. Yep.
So as you're kind of tumbling around through the air, you do manage to lock on to the Aarakocra. And it looks as if he is going towards the very edge of the cliff. And what happens is it looks like he's right at the very edge. He takes the staff he was holding and he clacks it down on the ground a few times. And you don't know if he was saying anything or doing anything, but there does seem to then be almost a vortex of wind that kind of blows out from that direction and ends up blowing you away.
Okay.
Nice.
Okay.
So
great.
you're not able to see what comes next.
Okay.
Nice.
Okay.
So now you're kind of blown. Let me pull you back to that peninsular map.
Oh boy. This is over you.
Back to retro.
No.
Into the swamp.
Down here in
snow.
the deep blue sea.
You're kind of like here now. Oh wait. Uh-oh. Crap. Like here.
Okay.
Nice.
Okay. Chella will reassume her use her second wild shape, reassume her eagle form, and try to fly back to Updelos.
Nice.
Okay. All right. So you do, let's see here.
Nice. Sweet hair.
Sweet hair.
Right. So yeah, you do manage to do that because I was just seeing there's nothing I can see about you having to like get out of gaseous form, transform into an eagle.
Gotcha. Yeah. I feel like maybe it looks like Chella ends her concentration in gaseous form, but she's like up in the air and like tumbles through the air a little way before she's able to like fold herself into her wild shape as an eagle and snap her wings out to the side.
There you go.
Yeah.
Okay.
Good. It's good.
All right. So you managed to fly yourself back to Abdeos. All right.
Yeah, she's gonna head back for the inn.
Wow.
Chella's seen a lot of action lately.
A lot of rolls.
Yeah.
A lot of bad rolls.
Hush.
So I think this is still nighttime, I believe. Yeah.
Sounds about right.
So the town is still, and hold on.
Can we have that moment where like Brondir and Chella both walk, like meet at the door? Like,
Yes.
Like, where have you been? Where have you been?
And then Gerbo walks up.
Where have you
And then
Rondir and Chella just stare at him blankly. Like, we know. Like, up to
So
each pick up an arm and haul him inside.
listen, this isn't quite accurate. Oh my god, why does it do that?
Yeah, I don't know.
Your video froze.
I know.
Oh.
I'm really surprised my hair is doing this.
Do you
I
have a lot
know.
of gel in it?
But anyway, there's a bit of some carnival-y kind of sounds. This is kind of a closest I can get to like a festival thing.
Cool.
So, and let me reconnect real quick.
Zach's got a mohawk.
It's almost like a flock of seagulls. Yeah.
What? Is it a band?
Well, you can hear that it's like carnival-y.
And then the lead singer had the haircut that was like this. It was like shaved on the side. And they called it a flock of seagulls haircut.
Hmm.
So bad.
I only know of it from Weird Al's song Albuquerque.
Weird Al.
All right.
He's got some good stories about songs tonight.
Apparently. So, let's just say you guys end up coming back into the inn at around the same time. Ophelian's probably asleep or something. I'm not quite sure what she's doing. Well, she doesn't sleep. She's in a trance. But
In trance.
Avoiding nonsense.
But I would say that you guys kind of show up around the inn at the same time. And Brondir, as you're actually kind of around there's still a decent amount of people in the tavern itself, or the tavern part of the inn. And whenever you come in, some of the folks who are a bit more inebriated than others shout and are just happy to see a dwarf.
Okay.
And one of them is going to come up and offer you a drink.
Did I walk in by myself, or did all three of us walk in at the same time?
I would say that you were going to walk in first to this, and Chella and Gerbo will be not far behind.
Okay. So I walk in, and Brondir is kind of thrown off by why people are hollering, thinking it's because they know who he is. So
right,
just kind of keeps walking.
Some of the drunkards keep one of them, and in fact gets close enough to like clap his hand on your shoulder and say, "Hey man, you want a drink? We love dwarfs around here."
Yeah, I'll take a drink. What is this guy like? Human, I guess.
Yeah, he's human.
I'll say, what are we having?
What do you want?
Is there a drink that? What's the drink that Gerbo ordered? It was like the special.
The thorny rose.
The thorny rose. He said, "The thorny rose, of course." As if I knew exactly what to order because I did.
All right, he puts in the order at the bar with the barkeep.
Brondir's kind of, like rubbing his pants, like nervously, like.
Fair enough. Okay. Well, you notice that nothing is missing.
Yeah.
That you're aware of so
Cool.
far. one of the other drunken guys comes to the other side of you and says, "We don't see many dwarves here around these parts."
Well, I'm glad to receive some appreciation around you.
Yeah, you look strong.
I'm known for strength. I'll give you that. I don't know. Yeah,
I think they're trying to pick you up.
Oh, that's terrible.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I am strong. Barbarians are known for strength, so yeah. I'll check back on this drink. See it coming.
The drink is served.
All right. Brondir grabs his drink and is now
Okay.
There you go.
I would say it's at this time that Chella and Gerbo would walk in, and probably, like you said, Chella would probably dragging Gerbo along, just to make sure he isn't going anywhere.
Yeah.
I noticed that Brondir is being.
Oh, and I want to say, the second you say barbarian, Zach,
Yeah.
one of them says, "Hey, we got a bar, and then they start chanting bar.
That sounded like the guy that was following us at a distance for a while.
Guy Fieri.
Guy Fieri. Yeah, that.
He finally catch up with us.
Yeah.
No, he's the guy that started the bar chant.
Yes.
How does the bar chant actually go?
Well, it's just bar,
Bar.
and they're smashing their
Okay.
Drunken
glasses, right? And
so
it starts
when-
spreading throughout the whole bar.
Chella is just attempting to like manhandle you straight past all the action.
And I look at Chella and I say, "Why are they chanting at the bartender?"
I have no idea. All I know is the last time you were in a tavern, somebody got offed, so you are going off to bed.
Bar.
I attempt to slip out of Chella's hand.
You probably succeed.
That's like a sleight of hand check, I
Oh,
guess.
yeah, like plus
Either
12.
that or dexterity.
Okay.
What is my counter to this?
You could just Misty Step.
Strength?
I
Or...
could just Misty Step, but I don't want to fool everybody.
I guess it would be her own sleight of hand.
Oh,
Okay.
okay.
Now she's gonna have an epic roll.
Nope.
I got a 31 on my other roll.
Yeah, it's crazy. 19. Cool.
So yes, you're able to slip out of Chella's grasp.
I slip out of Chella's grasp and to try and distract everyone from Brondir, I stand up on a table and I yell out to everyone. I say to everybody that what's the festival's name again?
It's just simply the Harvest Festival.
Yeah. I get a couple of like glasses and like ching them together really loud to try to get everybody's attention.
Okay. You're on top of a table.
Mm-hmm. And so
was it a crowded table? Was it a table with people with like drinks and stuff on it?
Yeah, but I'm at probably.
Did you knock over someone's drink?
I'm at eye level with like everybody else though.
Okay.
Because I'm not very tall.
Yes, I know.
And I say really loud that I have a Harvest Fest story to tell.
Say it.
A story? Tell it!
Well,
Oh no.
I don't consider myself a bard, but I have lived a long life. Longer than some of you. Being a gnome, we come from many parts, and coming from the north, I would say that I've never seen this many humans in a bar before. It's usually the likes of elves and well, dwarves and any other races, but this many humans, well, a chant like the one you were making is about right.
Was that your story?
Was that it?
Brondir props up on a stool and watches this happen.
And so I begin telling the story of Brondir.
Oh. Okay.
But I'm going to I don't remember all of the details, so I'm going to purposefully tell it like elaborately.
Okay.
But like purposefully like describe Brondir differently.
Okay.
So that like they don't associate this Brondir with like the Brondir that from the story.
You're going to try to implant artificial memories?
Yes, I'm going to try and like in this moment like cast a thing about Brondir that describing him with short like long hair or I don't remember all the details, so I wish I did, but basically try and convince them that Brondir was this bold warrior, and since they're all hyped up anyway, but like subtly describe Brondir differently so that they don't pick up that the Brondir, that the guy that with them is Brondir.
Roll persuasion, Gerbo.
Okay.
Oh my god! Yay! Okay.
The crazy thing is I only rolled an 8.
Jeez, you're ridiculous.
One of your skills.
Anyway,
I just noticed that Brondir was kind of in a pickle.
Wow.
So as you're enthralling the crowd to the story of Brondir, Blight Chaser, some of them begin to like as you're telling the story, some people like, yeah, and this and this and this, like they're adding details to it.
Right.
Some of them, I mean, Brondir being there, some of them are true, others not so much.
Right. The Tale of Time has added details.
Right.
To the story, right.
Like it seems as though Brondir, you grew at least a foot in height.
Right. Has a tattoo, has a very distinct tattoo that if you ever see this tattoo, you will know that it is the Blight Chaser.
Yes.
That kind of that's the kind of stuff that I'm like trying to add so that they don't think it's him.
Right. The one detail that you can't, like you describe this long flowing hair and the big long beard that reaches down to his feet. And that's when some of the people react and say, hey, actually, did he have like a short beard? But those few, some of them are like, oh, no, he had to have, it's a long beard, yeah? And there's disagreement amongst them as to like the length of the beard.
So
I say, well, have you ever seen a dwarf with a short beard?
Oh God!
And one of the bigger ones says, "No!" They all just shout in unison.
And we all start laughing, and I cheers all the people at the table on that. Just cheersing them.
Yep, that's right. As you're telling the tale, some of them begin flipping coins to you.
Yes.
Like at your feet.
That's great.
You've made 5 silver.
All right. and I say, I'm about to step down, and I say, before I step down, one big toast to the reason we are all celebrating this week, Brondir the Blight Chaser. And I make eye contact with Brondir.
Okay.
And give him a nice little
Oh, you like a wink?
Like a bad, like.
Yeah.
Gronder raises his glass to Gerbo in appreciation, and he says, "That was quite the story, gnome. But you were mistaken on a few parts. The dwarf did have a short beard. There aren't many with them. But I am pleased to say that Brondir has returned to Abdeos."
Oh. Whoa.
Oh.
And the second you say that, like, some of the drunken people turn and are just shocked. Others just the same guys who were talking to you earlier just start bar. They just start
I start like stomping the table, like encouraging it.
And some of the folks are like, "What is Brondir? No way!" Oh! And
Amazing.
the barkeep was like, "Wait a minute. Hold on. Let me go back again." And he goes back into the back. And he's like, "I bought this ages ago. And now that I look at it, it's a spitting image." And he holds up like a painting.
Oh
my god, that's amazing.
That was in Brondir's likeness back in the day.
Oh my gosh.
That's amazing. You were no longer Ronrir in the community.
And thank God for that.
His alter ego,
Ronrir.
Yes. So.
That's great.
My God, I didn't think Brondir Blightchaser.
Yeah, put a few dwarves and around on me, and then
yeah,
that's so good.
Okay, let's just say it would be 2 gold to give a round for everyone in the bar.
Cool.
And when you do, some of the guys attempt to pick you up.
Oh yes,
off the ground.
This is great. How heavy are you?
How heavy am I?
How much does?
I don't know. I'm.
Yeah,
very stout. I think I'm 4'6" in height or something.
Yeah,
like that.
But you probably weigh like 300 pounds.
Yeah, probably.
Oh, nice! I love it.
That's pure muscle.
250, 300 at least. Yeah.
Of pure muscle.
So, two of the guys try and pick you up, and they can't do it. And so then what happens is 2 more guys come, and then they're able to lift you up into the air, and they start to parade you outside.
Oh no! This is.
Oh my god! This is great. Well, I'm gonna follow.
Chella's
drinks.
Chella's gonna scoop one of the beers off the table that they left behind and start drinking it and follow.
And as you're taken outside, there's actually, like I said before, there was kind of a band that was playing. And things are kind of winding down. And then they see this, like, all the folks in the square that were celebrating before that was dying down, they all just kind of turn and wide-eyed as they see this spectacle of, like, drunken people carrying this dwarf into the town square.
Oh my god, that's great.
And there's still a chant of bar, by the way. Which is even more confusing, but some people are kind of going ahead and say, "Brondir's returned!
Oh my gosh.
Brondir is returned!" And some of the folks are kind of shaking their head, like looking at you, Brondir, more directly. It's like, what is happening? And you notice that they are taking you to the fountain.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Do you resist?
Yeah.
Give
us the
people what they want.
Give us the city map. We need the city map.
Yeah,
you're right.
Yeah, give the people what they want.
Dunk him in.
Dunk him in.
That's awesome.
Yeah, Brondir's along for the ride.
Okay, well,
he needed a pick me up.
As you were going that way, people have been like clumsily like trying to like dump drinks into your mouth and stuff along the way.
That's great.
And yes, you do get tossed into with a big heave. You get a big heave ho. You get tossed into the fountain.
Nice.
Oh, I love it.
Kella clap
Cool.
with everyone.
And now what's happening is the band has started picking up again, and now there is a bard that is singing the classical tale of Brondir.
Yes.
So cool.
Yeah, who did it better though?
Who did it better? Let me roll for the bard. What's that poor guy? How's that guy doing?
How's he doing?
Oh, he got an 18.
Nice.
Jeez.
Okay, honestly,
is.
this is the scenario to get an 18.
Yeah, right.
This is like legendary bard stuff. Like one time when it's like you are the best like thing in the city, like telling the story with the
So, Brondir, you kind of get yourself out of the water. Is there anything you want to do or say?
This is great.
Well, I think that we all sing along with the bard.
Okay. Yeah, the crowd is kind of picked up and they've started like singing the tale along because many of them know it by heart.
Yeah.
You see folks that are also kind of doing a bit of a jig to the music in the background as well. At this point, some of the guards of the city have started to show up and are kind of looking around, kind of confused at all the commotion. Some are expecting the festivities to have died down at this point in the night. And then they hear that Brondir has returned. And one of the some of the guards come up to you, Brondir, and say, "Are you really Brondir?"
I am indeed, and it's been so nice to return back to Deos. It's just as I left it, and I couldn't be happier to be back in here.
And some of the other townspeople hold the same painting, a similar kind of painting or drawing that the barkeep had. And say, "It's true. Look, see, looks identical. It's uncanny."
It's uncanny.
Look at him. They look at the depiction and they look at you. Say, "Well, the years have treated you kindly, then. You look exactly the same."
Gotta see. I've had my fair share of this week keeping me healthy.
Hold on.
Sorry.
Well, if it is really you, hold on. I gotta reconnect. I don't know. I have to reconnect twice. It's really weird. Anyway, it's really you. I think the Lord's gonna want to see you.
Oh, the Lord's far too busy for me. Let's just have a good time together and enjoy the festivities. He'll get around to whatever he needs. There's no need for that.
Yeah, you know what? Yeah, you're right.
He's a busy man.
You can go and see him. You can go and see him in the morning, bright and early.
We'll see.
Maybe not early.
And the guy says, "Hey, go, send word back to the manor."
Oh, no reason. Just enjoy the time that we have together, and the Lord will find out on his own. And he can't be mad at Brondir, right?
That's right. And some of the drunken guys are picking you up out of the fountain now.
Nice.
And are starting to give you more alcohol.
Cool.
But some of the guards do disperse and go back to what they were doing. But that one guard you were talking to sticks around, and it looks like he ends up getting a drink later on.
Nice.
So there you go.
I'm gonna wallow down and go to that guard and say, "So how have things been around here lately?"
Oh, there's been a lot of ups and downs, but can't say I could complain too much. I mean, I get 3 square meals a day. The people here seem to be, well, mostly content.
But it seems like they might be upset with the Lord and the farmers.
Yeah, you're right. I don't really like to. I don't really like to dwell on politics too much. But
Your secrets are safe with me. Just know that.
yeah, you're right. Who am I talking to? I gotta remember. You're a legend.
Well,
Maybe you could fix things.
what on earth would need to be fixed?
Look, there used to be food aplenty. And it still is, kinda, if you look around. He kind of gestures toward the different booths and stuff that have different, foods for sale, right? All kinds of crops, fruits, vegetables, even baked goods, and such. But a lot of this is supposed to go off to the capital.
What? I mean, you always send a supply to the capital, though.
Yeah, but they keep asking for more.
For what reason? You have to feed yourself, don't you?
Yeah, but they've been getting a bit more and more pushy. And quite frankly, I think it's all those folks coming from across the sea. You ask me.
Well, there's no harm in feeding refugees, is there?
Hey, for what little I know, we used to be in the same boat ourselves, so I can't really complain. But it's kind of putting a bit of a strain on things.
So then you said maybe I could fix something. What is there to fix then?
Well, like I said, the crops used to be very abundant. Every year, for the last few years, less and less so.
So, just they're not growing as well. Not necessarily anything internal then. The
Well,
internal struggles are just putting an extra strain on the crops that aren't as abundant as they used to be.
well, stuff, crops. There's not enough. There's not as many crops, and sometimes the crops just spoil. But they're not supposed to.
And Pelora gets the first share.
The capital, yeah. Listen. Listen. Lord Ed, he's been doing his best. He's been trying to delay the shipments we got to send over. He's been doing his best to argue down, but it's not enough. He can only do so much.
So is it worth paying him a visit then?
It might be.
Well, I can't say I exactly left on the best of terms with the Zenaris family, be it known. But
hey, I don't know. That was before my time. I wasn't even born yet.
That's true. And so then what do you know of me then? Just
the legends. I mean, I know. Well, that's not entirely true. I do know a little bit of the more juicy details.
Oh,
Under almost spits out his drink that he just takes. Juicy, please elaborate on what juicy might mean.
Hey, it kind of leans in closer. Did you and Nadia, you two were apparently close. I'm just saying that's kind of one of the unofficial tales in the
Mhm.
in the Lord's manor, all right?
Tall tales are never equal or fulfill, or tall tales are never really exciting if they don't have a little mystery or tallness to it, right?
Yeah, right.
That's kind of where it is at. It's like, well, no tale is good without being tall. So I'll
That's
leave
right.
that to a mystery for yourself. And
That's a definite yes.
I wouldn't be so sure. Who knows? I'd like to think so, but there's no telling if Nadia would say the same. But unfortunately, she's not here to speak to it.
Yeah. No one knows where she is.
What do you mean? No one knows where she is? Surely she married after I left. I mean, that was the plan, at least.
I think that happened if I remember right, but I don't know any other details. It's kind of something that hasn't been talked about very much, oddly enough.
Brondir's demeanor changes and is, well, um, that's interesting. She hasn't been seen around here then. You've never met her with the royal family.
No, not since I've been here.
And how old are you, mate?
Really, 35. I mean, I'm young, but
Sure. Well, it's been
Baby.
80 years since I've been here, and I can't say I'm like, I'm so happy to be back.
hey, you being here, it's probably going to raise spirits through the roof.
If I can do anything, I hope it's that.
And speaking of spirits, he's going to pull out a drink and
Awesome.
drink it.
We clink glasses and drink.
Yes, that's right.
So who makes up the crowd?
Who makes up the crowd?
Like what is the demographic of people like? Obviously humans, but like is it townsfolk, farmers, tradesmen?
It looks like the crowd right now that's kind of out at night, it's mostly composed of like younger folks, younger men and women. You see some older folks that you assume might be farmers or perhaps tradesmen that are out drinking and carousing. But it's a younger crowd. There's even now, like later in the night, you don't know when they got here. There are some tieflings wandering around too that are drinking.
Nice.
But you don't see Tali or Dahlia with them.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Interesting.
Okay.
Alrighty. Gerbo is with Chella. And as we are drinking, I'm going to tell Chella about the what I found out from the guild.
Okay.
Guild.
All right.
I'll Chella and say, well, believe it or not, the people around us might not be the most trustworthy.
I suppose I'll have to take your word for it, Master Gnome.
You see, I paid a visit tonight to somewhere outside of town. I believe you did as well, it seemed. And I don't know what news you found, but I learned that the farmers here are not too happy.
That's understandable with their grain being sent to the capital. It's food for refugees.
They're so dissatisfied that they are thinking about hiring the Thieves Guild to, well, do something about it with the Lord.
Don't get any ideas about repeating your last stunt.
Well, wouldn't you be proud to know that I, in fact, prevented such an occurrence?
Chella raises her glass to Gerbo.
And I raise my glass and I say, and it didn't cost me a dime.
But that's the best part.
Or a silver.
Is there anyone that we need to be looking out for in this crowd, in a crowd of this size? You think these people are so untrustworthy?
Well, the farmers were the main folks, but I didn't ask about anyone in particular.
So you don't know who belongs to the Thieves Guild, but you're working with them.
I look around the crowd for the old guy that I saw at the bar who played.
Honestly, I don't think that's really that strange. The Thieves
true.
Guild.
That's true.
Yeah, but I do
Need to know basis.
I do look around and just to see if I notice the same guy that I saw before, or even other people like Sid.
You see the old man that you encountered before, except he's kind of off, just kind of watching the crowd and drinking a glass of his own.
Mm-hmm. And I look at Chella and say, I actually do see a familiar face. But I don't think they're the ones that you need to be worried about. Unless, well, they get paid. But hopefully, I've prevented that.
Chella kind of rubs her temple and kind of takes a deep breath and says, fair enough. I think we all have plenty to worry about. Tieflings and swamp witches and thieves guilds and grain taxes and...
Well, where did you go?
She kind of looks at him out of the side of her eye and takes a drink from her flask. I don't know if I'm ready to talk about all this tonight, but we need to meet early tomorrow morning. I have something to tell the group. I think I found the Wind Temple.
And I jump in the air, excited. Like that scene in Anchorman where they are like,
yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, Mario jump.
Yeah, Mario.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, it's exactly.
Yeah.
It's exactly what I do.
Yes, and that's when I was kind of hoping, Zach, that your camera would have froze you in that position.
Great. Yeah,
but
been great.
Nice.
It just froze again. So
yeah, sorry.
No, that's Zach.
There you go.
Yes, that's willful. Thank you.
It's willful.
Very good. Very good. So.
For now, I think I'm content to forget all my troubles and share a drink. Even with you, Gerbo.
Wow. Twitch Gerbo's alarm bells go off. That's not normal.
Yeah. Jealous, super overwhelmed.
Fair enough.
And okay. I look around and ask where Aphelion is.
She was smarter than all of us. She actually went and slept after the, tranced or whatever kind of strange thing Eladrin do. Yeah.
And I nod and say that is probably smart, especially if everybody's talking about having an early day tomorrow.
Would you sit and drink with me, Master Gnome?
Me?
Yes. I don't know anyone else in this city, although you seem to have made some fast friends. I would bet that I'm better company, or at least safer, usually.
Yes, but I can't steal off of you.
Of course you could.
But there's nothing to steal.
That is also true.
That's not true. There's like weird mushrooms and flowers. And
That's
stuff.
right. All my potion ingredients. You might get more than you bargained for. Yeah.
That's funny.
I can just imagine Gerbo like trying to pickpocket one of her bags, and just a snake comes out.
Yeah, a live snake.
A live snake.
A whole raccoon.
A flower stem. A violet stem.
Yeah.
So Bronder's gonna make his way to Aphelion and Gerbo while they're having a conversation, and walk up and say, I've decided to go see the Lord tomorrow. They requested early in the morning, so I'll be heading out first thing.
I say, will you be discussing his farmer issue?
I'm not sure what we'll be discussing exactly, but I think that'll be a part of it. It sounds like I may not have left on as worse terms as I thought, and if so, maybe time has healed some of those wounds. I'm not exactly sure. Not to say that what happened was bad per se, or that I should not be celebrated. Anyway, it's.
Did you?
I think I'll go see Lord Edmund tomorrow.
You're not curious how I know about the farmers?
Bronny looks at his empty glass and says, "Yes, how? Sorry, how, these things."
These things.
These things. Guys.
That must be the bottom of several empty glasses to get to a dwarf.
Well, to be fair, like they have been, throughout all of this, they've been just pouring glasses into his mouth throughout.
Yeah, probably
excellent.
10 to 15 by this point.
Yeah.
Yes. How? Now that you mention it, of course. How do you know of the farmers?
Well, you have to be in the Thieves Guild to know all the details.
Well, then I'm not interested. At whatever rate, I'm going to go.
Well, in order for you to know, you have to be in the Thieves Guild. Okay, I'm not interested. You just gotta walk away.
I love you, Gerbo, and I appreciate what you were trying to do for me back there. But I did feel like what I needed to see had been seen, at least as well as it could be seen, and it was no reason to hide in the shadows anymore. But I appreciate your attempt at stealth.
Uncharacteristically altruistic, indeed.
So I would raise a glass to you, but I'm afraid that this must be my last.
Chella grabs Brondir by the sleeve and says, "Brondir, we all need to talk. When Aphelion is awake out of her trance, whatever the antonym of trance is, when she's out of that, we all need to talk. And soon, tomorrow. Please don't delay too long at the Lord's house."
The Lord's house.
House of our Lord Edmund.
Do you know the Lord? Do you know the Lord?
I can't believe
Oh,
I'm
no.
elevating to go
I'm going to meet the Lord.
to meet the Lord.
I'm going to meet the Lord.
Okay, that's fine. I don't plan to be there long, but in case something does come up, I'll now know that I need to head out. I'll be back soon.
Chella gives something between like a grimace and a smile, like her best attempt at a genuine smile. That is like, enjoy your night, Brondia. I'm sure it is good to be home.
That it is. And he kind of bows out and will go and mingle in the crowd for a little bit. Okay. Is this the first night of the festival, or is this the night before it starts? Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's like the second night. Like the first day has just been setting up and everything, but now this is like we're in the swing of things now.
Cool.
Mm-hmm. I look at Brondir and I say to him, if you need to get out of the conversation, I have these conversations with leaders of towns a lot, so I'm well experienced in discussing things with important people. And if you need to get out of it, just tell him that you have to go talk to another human about killing a dragon or whatever you did. And he'll not only respect you, but he'll get the joke.
Thank you. I will remember that, and I appreciate the advice.
I'll ask you about it.
I'm calling it now. Brondir's going to try that and roll like a 1 on charisma, and it's not going to work at all.
Oh,
Anyway.
it's gonna be so bad.
Anyway. Yes.
There we go. Get some time in.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Great. I love it.
Okay. Okay.
This is great.
That's a performance, I guess. Performance
What's
check.
happening?
This is great. I'm here for it.
I love it so much.
Wow.
I'll do it.
Not
That's
bad.
excellent.
Okay. You're actually doing a passable impression of an old human lady. Like you've got like a little like makeshift cane and you have a hood over your face and you're kind of like you might be shaking a little too much. Yes, no, exactly. It's just a sheet off the bed.
Yeah.
But at the very least, at the dead of night, with everyone drunk out of their minds on the street, that you're fine.
Why do old ladies be like
Okay. Would yeah. Okay. There's not very many. It looks as if there is only a priestess that is currently just tending to the church as a whole. So, like, she, along with what appears to be a young attendant that's male, they're kind of cleaning up, basically. So you detect the telltale celestial magic or energy, I guess, that comes from someone tapping into Pelora's power. So you definitely detect that in abundance, particularly within the priestess, who I might add, kind of to describe her, she's kind of like a big, stout woman. Kind of austere, I suppose, looking. Maybe kind of intimidating, even. But anyway, nothing really out of the ordinary with the temple. Eventually, however, as you're kind of walking around, the priestess does notice you, and she says, welcome. I didn't notice you earlier. Yeah. Uh-huh. Yes, of course. And she has kind of a naturally booming kind of voice. Like you could tell when she's kind of she commands attention. Anyway. Fair enough. Of course, I make time for all followers of our great and lovely Pelora. Now, and she'll kind of take a seat beside you. What do you want to discuss? Oh. Yeah.
Damn.
I love this Jedi-like tactic.
I
Yeah.
know.
This is great.
That was
yeah.
very straight up.
Brett is by far the strongest of the D&D players in this group.
I know.
Is it really
is
that
fine.
surprising, though? Yes.
Wrote of this story. Yeah, awesome.
Thank God we have you here to advance the plot.
Thank you.
We would just be drinking and flying in circles
Yeah.
forever.
Listen, to be fair, I do kind of throw things to you guys, and you just kind of run with them. So, sure.
Amazing. Amazing.
Anyway, very.
We love
What are you? I.
The old woman died.
Okay. Anyway. Yes, well. The Blight Chaser has returned, and he has brought friends with him. Well, fortuitous, indeed. What? Yeah, you kind of froze there. Anyway, I will tell you what I know. Malkite activity has increased in the last few years. It has been when it has surfaced in my 30 years here as a priestess, when it surfaces, it is in the swamp. But it seems this time it's appeared in other areas. I perhaps think the old witch perhaps finally sent a clear enough message, maybe. For whatever reason, she does not like Malkites in her area. But she is a different issue. I don't know all the details, but there seems to be something strange that is leading the Malkite group in the area. I believe it can commune with spirits in some way, or perhaps consumes them. I'm not sure. I know that in recent days they've taken up residence in an old manor not far from the swamp. Yes. I have spoken with Dahlia. And I believe it would be best to root them out as soon as possible. Within most towns of this size, there is normally very little Malkites. That being said, I have detected more general, I suppose, evil, but I can't find a source for it. It's like it's coming from the very ground itself. It's hard to explain. That is true. No. You speak wisely, Elf. Perhaps the resentment and hatred and desperation of some of the farmers has begun to manifest in a way that even I can feel. And unusual, but perhaps that might be part of it. And of course, there are always the mysterious Druids of the wind. I have seen more activity from them. None of them come to visit the temple. But I have discussed it with Lord Ed. I believe that I think they are trying to contain that very evil, perhaps, that you speak of. But I don't know if they're successful. They seem to be very adamant to be left to their own devices. Very peculiar, if you ask me. Indeed. I vaguely know of the Druid and the Druidic circles. Are you speaking of the elements or the elemental forces? Hmm. Insidious. Malcor is truly insidious. I do hope Laura can protect us. And she makes a symbol to. She makes kind of clutches to her holy symbol. Well, yeah, right. Yeah, she didn't know that. Well, yes. I thought you were a very strange old lady. Ah, well, I suppose that's fair.
In human years.
Well, I'll be sure to keep you in mind and keep you informed if I learn anything new. God
Oh my
damn.
god.
So, I will say, Aphelion, as you were talking to her, you noticed a telltale sign, and this is something you've seen with many followers and worshippers of Pelora, a fiery zeal that you can kind of tell is in their eyes, right? It's like the fire of a radical or a zealot, and you know that those would be the most dangerous of her followers. Hmm. Fair. That yeah, yeah, yeah.
Interesting.
Nice.
Right. It just seems like it seems to be within the normal parameters of a Church of Pelora, as far as you can tell.
Yeah.
Um,
Interesting. Does she exit in her old lady costume?
okay.
I love your alter ego, Aphelion. Grady Effie.
She's working on it. She's doing all right. She's doing all right.
I think Chella's gonna get drunk.
So hold on. As Aphelion's leaving the church, before you open the doors to exit, just say, "Wait, hold on. I must know. Were you in Durin recently?" She's gonna shoo the attendant away. Like tell like he's gonna like go like climb upstairs somewhere to more cleaning up there or something. Ah, did you have anything I see. I see. I've heard through the grapevine of a child that was there as well. Her name is Elizabeth, yes?
Leave Brittany alone.
Ah, that couldn't happen.
Yes,
Pelora would not allow it to happen.
Yeah.
She will be the chosen. She is the chosen. Her champion. Hmm. Good. Well, at any rate, go on then. Yes, you are correct. There are many weeds that need to be plucked from our garden and burned. I know my history, Elf. I know of the great tragedies that have befallen our church from within and from without. But I do believe we are living in special times. I think big things are coming. These aren't visions of Pelora. Call it a gut feeling. She's gonna kind of like pound her stomach a little bit at that. Okay. All right. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Probably gripping it more tightly as you leave. Yeah. Okay. Now, Chella was going to get hammered.
Bonking.
Excellent.
Core.
Yeah. Chella's nihilistically drinking herself into a drunken stupor.
Nice.
Very nice. Very cool.
Hey, we all need it sometimes.
Roll. Guess what? You got to make another roll. Constitution.
Okay.
Yes.
See how many it takes.
Well, more like how fucked up you're going to be when you wake up in the morning.
Nat 20.
Oh, wow.
It's not bad.
It's pretty good. I mean, you wake up with like a mild headache, but you're fine.
Why stop now?
What's the best cure for a hangover? More drinking.
More.
Kara the dog. Yeah, she's sitting on the stoop, and every time like Gerbo tries to leave, she like pulls him back down the stairs and starts like talking, and she's just talking and she just starts like blabbering, and I had never left the Redwoods before my aunt sent me to find you all in Durin. It took me 2 days to find you all on that godforsaken mountain, and you and Bronte were just sitting out there blowing smoke rings or something. What were you even doing?
God, I remembered that was one of the most awesome character introductions. Jeez. Anyway.
I could have just taken a bite right off of your tiny gnome head, and no one would have ever seen it coming, but I didn't.
I could just imagine like Gerbo getting more and more uncomfortable and Chella's grip tightening on Gerbo as he's trying to run.
The world is a big and beautiful place, I have learned since I left my homeland.
I put on the hat of disguise.
Oh, no.
And for all the things I have seen and people I have met and drinks I have drank, you know what, gnome? I wish I had never left. Never left.
Nice.
I would give anything to be right back there with my mushroom family in the woods.
Okay.
So I have the hat of disguise on, and I turn into Bill Long.
Oh, Captain Long! Didn't recognize you. Didn't realize when you sat down. Is Gerbo under there anywhere? He's rather small.
And I just like stand up and walk away. And I don't say anything.
Okay.
Chella keeps talking to the empty space next to her.
Oh. Oh.
Yes.
Man.
It's cold, Gerbo.
Yeah.
Listen.
I walk. This is the morning.
I would say now it's like after. I think at some point Chella's because of her Constitution throw, she's gonna end up safely making it to her room, next to her bed, on the floor.
Cool.
Okay.
Gracious indeed. Thank you. Chella like falls down next to them and like spoons them lovingly.
Okay, there you go. Perfect.
That's amazing.
My God.
She sees none of it.
That's excellent.
That's amazing.
Gerbo is going to walk from the stoop. I'm going to like walk around and out towards the Lord's house.
What?
Not the chapel, but towards the Lord's house.
Okay.
and I'm just going to like sit in like behind the bushes back here.
Okay.
And I'm going to go to sleep.
Just back there.
In the bushes?
I'm going to go to sleep back here.
You do have your bedroll.
I'm going to lay out my bedroll.
Okay. All right. Well, I
And
suppose we have to be continuous with that meme.
Yeah,
So.
it's a good one. Memes are eternal.
They are. So
I'm going to put my bedroll out, and I'm just going to lay out here.
Okay.
The goal is so that I can hear Brondir walking up in the morning, and I can figure out a way to listen in on their conversation.
All right, I'll have to deal with those. I'll have to deal with the consequences of that in a second. Anyway, just a second. So, Brondir, are you going to end up back in your bed tonight?
Yes. Unless, my intention is actually to kind of, I'd said that was my last drink, and so when I bowed out, I was going to kind of make a last round and then go back to the bed.
Okay. I'll just say that nothing really of consequence happens, except a few times as you're going back. That chant of Barbar starts up a few times sporadically. It just kind of it ended up kind of catching on randomly. So
that's great.
There you go.
It's when you close your eyes at night. It's what you hear slowly as you close your eyes.
Yeah.
The chants of Barbar.
What dreams are made of.
It's what dreams are made of.
You end up back in bed. And we're going to finally cut to the next morning.
You notice that Gerbo never came.
I don't think definitely Chella, but also probably Brondir wouldn't really care that much.
No.
Probably true.
No.
I have to admit, it would actually be pretty funny if like the bond, like the Fae bond, ended up extending in such a way that like when one character got drunk, even if the other wasn't drinking, they felt drunk too and stuff like that. That's a little too much.
Really hard.
That'd be a little too much. That's true. It could happen between them.
Oh, interesting.
I'll say that Brondir does notice he's not there when he wakes up.
Yes.
Doesn't really care that he's not there at night, but when he wakes up.
Oh, now something might be wrong.
Well, I wouldn't say wrong, but definitely out of place.
Sure.
Where I know Gerbo enough to, he could have either murdered someone or he just got really drunk and is in the fountain.
Well, you know he's not dead.
Yeah.
At the very least, you know he's not dead.
Right, that's true.
Still here. So. Which in a way is a relief.
Yeah.
But, so, yeah. Okay, so I'm going to get up and put on my nice armor and gauntlet and pinned it and everything, and Gussie up to go see Lord Edwin first thing.
All right. I'm gonna cut to Gerbo. Gerbo, roll a stealth check.
Okay.
Are you gonna try and like hide? I assume.
Yeah,
somewhere in the bushes?
I'm still like right now in the morning. I'm still like behind the bushes back here.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna roll a stealth check. Roll an 11.
Wow.
Okay.
Rolled a 1 or a 2. I mean.
Yeah, not great.
Well, Gerbo, you eventually are fast asleep, and but then you're really woken up when someone kicks you in the side.
Oh, I startle awake and look and like turn over my shoulder and look at the person.
Well, it's 2 guards standing over you. Hey, what are you doing here?
I look at them and say, "Oh, gnome had too many drinks last night and couldn't find the inn. And honestly, this bush looked nice enough to sleep on or
Boy.
around."
Man, you really went far out, huh? You know, the bar in town's like that way.
Well, have you ever had a thorny rose?
More than enough.
Then
All right.
you know what it'll do to you.
All right, well, let's get you back to the inn then. Come on. You're coming with us.
And do I pass Brondir?
I think as you are walking back, yes. Like, they would be
Amazing.
escorting you back.
Okay.
Run around the corner and like on the long road, singular road to the Lord's house is Gerbo, being escorted out by 2 guards. I'm just confused and be like, he's not going to say anything. He's just going to keep walking.
Nice.
And just kind of keep that. Like Brondir is afraid that he went in the house last night.
Right.
And as the guards are passing Brondir, I like put my feet on the ground and say, "Whoa, this is my friend. Hold on. I've got to give him something."
Huh? What? Okay.
Okay. And I give him a piece of paper and I cast illusory script on it.
Okay.
And on the script, like on the piece of like a little parchment paper, it says, Brondir has arrived and he's here to protect you. Trust me. And then I put from Sid.
What?
And I have no idea if this is gonna work. And I give it to Brondir.
Does it say something else?
And I tell him that that the Lord needs to get this.
Is it sealed? Something I could see.
It would be something you could see. It's not sealed.
Nah.
Because I just did it just then.
It wouldn't be you wouldn't be able to seal it, and I don't think it'd be in the style of the Thieves Guild to seal their notes anyway.
And Brian's gonna be like, do I know this person?
You do not, but I'm hoping the Lord will.
All right, come on. Let's get you back, you drunken gnome.
Okay, well, you can rough him around. He can handle it. And I'm going to Turbo, and I'm going to head on.
Okay.
And put the note like inside one of my pockets or breastplate or something.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So, and by the way, it says it's written in a different hand. Oh, sorry, there it is.
Okay. Like a different hand, so like
I guess I would have never seen Sid's handwriting.
You probably would not have, no. But you could probably...
Does Sid know how to write?
An excellent question that I cannot answer.
I'm going to bank on the fact that he doesn't know how to write and that he's always had his like minion people do it for him or something.
You are overestimating feudal society nonetheless, but anyway.
That's probably true. And who knows if Brondir will even use it, but it's a tactic. He doesn't have any sort of context, and that's totally okay.
Okay.
I actually kind of like it like that. Like this will be
all right.
fun.
Fair enough. So All right. So
And I make it to the end.
you do. The guards escort you back to the inn, and they just put you back in the bar area. And
I look at Ted, the barkeeper. It was his name, right?
I think so.
I believe his name was Ted.
Yeah.
And I say, well, I won't be doing any drinking today.
Oh yeah, you and your friends, they got real wild.
Is
But then again, I mean,
Chella down here?
Charlotte's still sleeping it off.
yeah, she's probably still sleeping it off.
Cool.
No doubt.
Is Aphelion down here?
Probably. It's probably like 8 or 9. Yeah. I'd say the guards are just going to go ahead and order themselves some breakfast and eat while they're here. That's true. It's very true.
Very
accurate. Ever pragmatic, always driving the story forward.
Love it.
Anyway, Brondir, you're approaching the entrance to the Lord's Manor, and obviously this is very familiar to you. Very little has changed. You still see much of the garden, like the hedges lining the the manor itself. All the flower work is still immaculately kept. Trees line the area, and you see some guards spot you, and some of them, like one of them, takes out like a paper and looks at it, looks back at you, and looks at it again. And he's going to nod his head yes, and he's going to come up. And a couple of guards are going to come up to you, while the other ones are going to go inside the building, and they're going to say, "You're Blight Chaser, yeah?"
Word get around that quick, or just keep that paper in your pocket just in case I arrive?
Hey, word gets around fast, and between you and me, more than a few of us were out and about last night. Anyway.
Well, I'd love to see Lord Edmund.
Of course. You could join him for breakfast.
Kitty cat. Oh my goodness.
God,
he looks so fat. I know.
He looks so fat.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to distract you.
I mean, so much.
Had to grab a ring.
He looks very upset.
So the door opens, or the main door is open for you, and you are taken into through the main hall. And as you're going through the main hall, you see several portraits of family members throughout time, and many of them are familiar to you. You do see one, a missing spot of a portrait that should be there, that's conspicuously missing. And you see a few more portraits beyond that one, the missing spotted one. And you see that it looks as if there is a depiction of Lord Edwin himself that's already been made.
Okay.
I'll go ahead and show him again.
Like titles or anything underneath the paintings?
There are no plaques to accompany. Like, there are plaques to accompany all of them, but there's only one. But this one spot, it looks as if it was. There used to be portraits there that are no longer there.
Yeah, it's like the shadow or the dusty outline.
Right. But even the plaque has been removed underneath it.
Yeah.
The dusty outline.
So you are escorted into the dining room area. Though honestly, you wouldn't need escort. You know where everything is in this place. You spend a lot of time here. And you enter a large kind of dining hall area with a large table, and sitting at the end, along with what appears to be you assume to be his wife, but also a few of his children are eating alongside him for dinner or for breakfast. And whenever you enter the room, he stands up and he's in a smile, and he says with a wry smile, Brondir Blightchaser, it is an honor to meet you in person. I am Lord Edwin Zonaris.
Lord Edwin, and Brondir drops to a knee. It's my service, or it's my pleasure to be here and to serve you.
Likewise, and he'll actually kind of acknowledge you in return. Come, sit, join us for breakfast.
Oh, I can't impose. We can surely, I don't want to interrupt with the time with your family. I just merely wanted to come in and discuss with you. But okay, if you insist, then sure. It's really good. So he's going to
Okay.
sit down.
It is all right. When we discuss more serious matters, we will have to, well, it'll have to be just the two of us, I'm afraid.
How old are the kids?
They look as if the younger one appears to be 5 or so, or like 3 to 5. The other one looks closer to 10.
Cool.
A young girl and an older boy. The older boy looks as if he has it's like kind of messy, motley hair, and a lot of it kind of covers a portion of his face. Like it covers over his eye, one of his eyes, as he's eating. Kind of peculiar. Bit early for the emo phase, but anyway. He says, I'm glad you could join me for breakfast. If I'd have known that you were coming back, I would have given you official residence here.
Oh, I couldn't ask for that. If I wanted to be known, I'm sure I would have announced myself. But it's good to come in and see the place with fresh eyes, let's say, and not feel as if I need any sort of special treatment. It's been nice and refreshing. But thank you.
You know, the stories my gran told of you were true. It seems. You always did seem to have a bit more of a humble attitude.
Your gran, what was her name?
Robin.
Yes.
That would be Nadia's sister.
Yes, yeah, Lady Robin. I enjoyed the time I spent with Robin and Nadia very much. They became like family to me.
Yes, so I've heard. And a plate is provided for you of a fairly good spread for food. You know, you get some sausages, potatoes, eggs,
Nice.
all the good fixings.
Mm-hmm. So tell me, how have things been in the last 80 years? It seems as if nothing has changed.
Well, the more things change, the more they stay the same.
Well,
I would say that not terribly much has changed since your absence. I have tried to glean as much as I could from our family records. There has been, unfortunately, a rather odd mystery that has befallen the Zonaris family. Perhaps you might be able to offer some assistance.
well, I've never been more happy than I was when I served the Zonaris family and your grandfather. It'd be my pleasure to serve again.
Well, you're familiar, of course, with Nadia Zonaris.
Of course.
Quite close, in fact. If what my grand said was true.
Rose had loose lips.
Robin, but yeah.
Robin.
Anyway, sorry.
It's been 80 years.
It's been 80 years.
It's been 80 years. I haven't heard that name in years. Anyway,
I haven't been the same since I got shot with the arrow in my knee.
oh no, don't do that. Don't do that.
Oh, you said you hadn't played Skyrim.
No, the meme.
The meme. Anyway, Lord Edwin gets a bit more solemn, and he says, "You don't know what happened to Nadia after you left, do you?"
Well, last I knew, she was set to be married. Start a new life.
Indeed, she did. She was married in a very loveless, torturous arrangement.
That's sad.
No children came of it.
I'm sorry to hear that.
But that's not where the story ends. From what I know, she vanished from. Hold on, I have my notes. She vanished from House Montree. And she came here at some point. And she took Wolfsbane.
She did.
Wolfsbane is the Zonaris' family weapon, dynastic weapon.
Okay.
It is a large silver warhammer.
It sounds uncharacteristic of her. She was always so graceful. I wouldn't know that she could handle a weapon.
Well, evidently, and again, this is before my time, but she did take Wolfsbane and was never seen again. I went on a journey myself, an adventure, to try and find and reclaim Wolfsbane, and to find her whereabouts.
How long ago was that?
10 years ago.
She was a very old woman, if she was still alive.
Well, and he'll kind of wave his hand to his family and his wife, and his attendants are going to leave the room. His kids will leave. As far as I know, she is alive. I came upon that information very painfully.
It's been 80 years. She was in her 20s when we left. It's near impossible for a human to live beyond 100 centuries. It doesn't sound right.
I'd heard tales of the Pool of Wishes, and so I visited that land.
And
I spent months in the Yamakira forest, waiting and looking for this hallowed pool, and I did not find it. For whatever reason, it decided that I was not worthy of a wish to be granted. And so I returned. This is also the trip that I suppose it wasn't completely a waste. After all, I found Dahlia.
Ah, yes, Dahlia. We've met. Very, very nice tiefling, I must say. Quite well received around the city. You have a good one on your hands, I can tell.
Thank you. I'm thankful that I made the decision I did that day.
Well, she said you rescued her, right?
Correct.
And what did you rescue her from?
Goliath pirates.
Ah, I know the sort. That's good that she's here. I'm glad that she can serve your city, especially since I have no idea who would have taken care of this region after I left. So that sounds like she's doing great work.
Right. I had no choice. I was out of options. I had no leads onto where Wolfsbane or Nadia went.
Right.
And so I visited one last source.
Where's that?
Grim Knox.
No one's gone to Grim Knox.
But I have.
And you live to speak of it.
Indeed. She was feeling particularly merciful, I suppose.
Must have. And you're sure you're not under some sort of trance, some curse that witch puts on people?
No. The price she asked of me was of a different sort.
Lord, you didn't make a deal with the witch.
Evidently, I wasn't the only one.
Ronder pushes his plate back. Are you telling me Nadia went to Grim Knox?
Indeed. She did.
What on earth for? She had her whole life. Sure, a failed marriage. That's not uncommon for any relationship. But why? What? There's no good that can come from that.
Evidently, it was a deal. She wanted a new body. A dwarvish body.
No. Okay. Investigation.
Yeah. It'd be insight.
Insight, yeah. Just kidding. Where are you? Insight. To my knowledge, you're telling the truth.
Yep.
There was nothing wrong with her human body. I loved her as she was and accepted her for what she was.
Well, she didn't think so.
That can't be right.
Grim Knox is many things, but she is not a liar.
Grim Knox is a witch who will do whatever she can to get her way, from what I know. How can I trust the words of some old bat in the woods? Much less you, Ed. I barely know you. I mean, What's to say that you're telling me this to get me all riled up for some mission or something? Here I come to help, and you're dragging me in with all this emotional toil?
I figured you wanted to know.
Of course.
I'm not trying to manipulate you, Brondir. I'm simply trying to tell you the truth.
And is that her portrait that's missing from the wall?
Yes.
And why would that be? Surely you were the first to know. Did you come back and remove it?
She is still a thief, Brondir.
I suppose. What'd you say? Again.
She ran away.
She's still family. You're more interested in an heirloom than your own blood.
It's not that I don't care for Nadia, but Wolfsbane has a lot of importance in our family as well.
I know the tale. You don't have to tell me about Wolfsbane. I understand the exact importance of Wolfsbane and cannot piece together why on earth Nadia would take it, much less make a deal with some kind of evil spirit. Who knows what came in return? Lord, I hope she didn't get Wolfsbane for it. Did she give Wolfsbane for it? Did you ask the witch then?
As far as I know, the cost was while the witch does not lie, she can twist the truth. Nadia asked for a new life, to start over as a dwarf. And so she granted her a new life, one without any of the memories she had of her old one. That was the cost.
That doesn't seem like a good deal at all. I don't understand what could have succumbed, what would have driven her to that decision. And Lord, how would I ever find her, much less?
As I said, I think the witch twisted the truth. Now I understand she could very well be twisting the truth with me. But it was all I had.
What did the witch ask of you?
He's going to turn, he's going to look at a portrait of his family. He's going to turn back and look at you. He says, she will have what she wants in due time.
I don't follow. What is she wanting? I know of the soil curdling. I know of Palan and the refugees and the toil that this city is under and the stress of you, but what does she want from you?
In time, My son will live a very charmed life. For now.
Charmed. He seemed indifferent and, shall we say, set in his own standards. Has he no interest in the Zanara's name?
He has been marked.
So this is the mark of Malcolm.
No, the mark of Grim Knox.
I can't say that's any better. And so this hammer means so much to you, to give up your only heir. Who will hold it when you're gone?
As I said, he will live a long, charmed life. Now, you know what I know, at least regarding my own family problems. I'm not asking you to solve them. I suppose I'm simply telling you what else happened to Nadia.
So how can I help, Lord Ed?
Do what?
So how can I help, my lord? If the witch is killed, will the curse be broken? I mean, in return, I suppose, Nadia shall perish, but
I don't know. Many have tried and few have failed. Or many have tried and none have succeeded.
I can't say it's something particularly interested in doing, although there is someone in my party who is, for whatever reason.
Don't you want to see Nadia again?
Of course. How could you say that?
This might be your only opportunity. Your chance.
You know where she is.
As far as I know, she was in Durin.
Frick yeah. I knew it. And she drinks a lot.
And she sits outside the gate.
God, she can't be the freaking drunk woman.
Oh, what a sweet plot twist that would have been.
True. If you do that, I'm leaving.
Oh my god.
Pressing reset and going back to the
Restart campaign.
and I am changing the path.
Changing the path.
Full year and a half. We go south.
That's amazing.
And did the witch give any explanation of her features? I can send word to my mother to look out for some newcomer.
All she told me that she was in Durin, that she did not have that she had fragmented memories of who she was and who she even is. And she has Wolfsbane.
must say, if Wolfsbane had to be anywhere, it would be safe in Durin.
Unfortunately, the witch did not give me many other details aside from that.
And unfortunately for me, there are more pressing matters, my lord, as much as Nadia is of importance to me. There, these strange things that are happening around here, with the soil, with the Aarakocra. I've heard of them landing here. What can you tell me of that?
The Aarakocra have been coming more and more. Some have deigned to visit me and inform me of some of their going-ons.
It seems mysterious. The time I lived here, you would rarely see one, but
Indeed.
hey,
I only saw one once when I was a boy, until just recently.
and what do they have planned? What is the reason for this gathering?
It seems as though there's a corruption within the temple.
Which temple?
The Wind Temple.
Ah, my lord, that's where we're heading.
Yes. It is.
The Aarakocra, they are also aware of this disturbance?
Yes. They've been trying to cleanse it or contain it. But as of now, I don't know if they've ever actually succeeded. It seems as though
Oh, go ahead.
It seems as though one of their masters was influenced in some way.
What are the Aarakocra masters or the Wind Temple masters?
On the Wind Temple Masters.
A very similar thing has happened to the Water Temple, my lord. We went to this temple. It had corrupted the Druids who lived in there, ran them out, changed their demeanor, and this plane, this world that we call home, is under attack. Too many details for to know, but we've done it before, and my party, we can do it again. But this Temple of the Wind sounds particularly tough. Is there a way you can send word to the Aarakocra? Let us know we're on their side. We want to fight beside them.
I have a way of reaching out. It will take a little time, but it can be done.
We unfortunately don't have too much time. Dahlia's recruited us to go drive out some Malkites, which will be good sport, I must say, and bring back the fondest of memories. But we're here on a trading barter. We must head north in 4 days.
Limited time. Well, it will not take me long. At most half a day. I could send word to the Wind Temple Masters, and hopefully they will get back to me as soon as possible. It seems as though a stranger had encountered one of their masters while they were outside the temple.
And that's an odd thing. Do Aarakocra not interact with?
Well, when I say stranger, I mean to emphasize strange.
That's the purple guy.
Well,
And
let's not be racist here.
no,
No. Stranger. So, interesting.
It was not long after speaking with him that this master had decided to evidently reach out to something, or try to. And that is what changed him.
Let me follow up. Eric Okra, Wind Temple Master, gone bad. This person is also Eric Okra.
Yeah.
But you're sending a message to the Wind Temple, in which has the bad master, and
I said one of the masters.
one of the masters. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. And the one of the Kokra who met a stranger has changed course.
Well, one of the masters, while they were out of the Wind Temple, encountered a stranger.
Yes. Yes.
Sorry if I wasn't clear.
Yeah. Yes. But their decision afterwards is what I'm not following.
What do you mean?
He said that he went back and changed his mind or something like that.
Well, he became influenced. He's
Became influenced.
He's not well. He's not well.
Okay.
The stranger convinced him to reach out to something of some sort, and it did not end well for him. Whatever has happened and transpired because of that master, the rest of the temple is trying to deal with it.
I see.
I don't know all the details. They have told me countless times to interfere, but this has been going on now for months. At least long enough for the Arakokra to begin showing up here more regularly.
Well, is there anything else that I can do then to help? But you have my axe and my other axe
And a sword.
and my spear and my other spear and a sword and both of these.
Don't forget the weird giant scale.
In the note.
Like this.
And
And these guns.
Yes, you do seem to have even more equipment than what was described to me.
traveling the continent will do that to you.
Yes, I actually have some experience with that.
Yes, you do.
Well,
I must go. I do have another engagement.
perhaps when this business with the temple has been dealt with, perhaps you and I could pay a visit to an old witch in the swamp.
Aphelion would be happy about that.
Um,
Aphelion's going to kill the witch, though.
If you think it's a good idea, then perhaps. Brondir gets up to, well, he bows to walk away and reaches into his pocket and says, I was given this on my way in. I don't follow the significance. I don't understand.
He's going to take it.
I'm not familiar with the name on the letter at all, but for whatever it's worth, it's been asked to be delivered to you.
Sid. I don't know as well. Hold on.
But it's just like, I don't know a Sid. All right. That was it.
Is that that low man that lives out in the old windmill?
Your guess is as good as mine. A very low man gave it to me this morning. As I walked.
Had a short joke.
It's a short joke.
Well,
Got him.
this is strange. I know I have heard that some rumblings of discontent. I've dealt with some of it among some of the farmers in the area.
Well,
Why would Sid send this? I don't understand. I know he's affiliated with this low life crooks, as far as I know.
I know the sort. For whatever it's worth, know that I am here to help.
Of course. I had no doubt of that in my mind. And, Brondir,
Yes, Lord.
I suppose I should apologize for opening the conversation with such personal topics.
Well, I can't say I've been wondering what's happened this entire time. Though I'm very, can't say upset, but just disoriented by the current situation. There's some hope out there that she's waiting for your sake. That your family heirloom is too.
Indeed.
Cool. Yeah. Then he escorts himself out.
All right. All right. You guys, you will return to the tavern. And I would say at this point that Chella is finally awake.
Just to make sure, before I go and talk to Chella,
Yes.
the Aarakocra who met with Chella went back and supposedly suggested something, and that person was then killed, exiled, or something bad happened to that person before making a suggestion.
Well,
Is that what you said?
I said a stranger.
Yes. Met a stranger, which I'm assuming, not Brondir is assuming, but Zach is assuming was Chella. And so, but regardless.
Whoa, what?
I think he was probably getting this happened like weeks ago or months ago. I mean, so I think this is probably the stranger that's been showing up to all the temples.
Oh.
Yeah. Persuading them and
So
corrupting.
I probably should track that a little bit better then.
Yes.
I was confused. I was thinking about met with a stranger.
Right.
Stranger was Jed.
Yes.
And that's what
That's what I said originally, but Jed said no, it was the purple guy.
Yeah.
Yes,
So,
that's who I was getting at. I mean, it's not like everyone's going to call him the outsider. So
sure. I was just very confused because I didn't remember Jet suggesting anything other than like, "Don't kill me."
Yeah.
Right.
That was the highlight.
Right.
So the Spark Notes version is that Aarakocra was cross paths with the outsider, and then made a suggestion from the outsider. And
No, the outsider talked to him and made him do something that the rest of the temple's having to deal with now.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. That pieces things together some more, where we see that there has someone spoiled the punch.
Yeah.
So.
As the outsider does.
Yes.
But anyway.
All right.
So now I'm assuming everyone's in the tavern eating or doing things.
Yeah.
This is now Chella's point to, well, nurse a hangover, but also
catch everyone up to speed.
Yes.
Two big things to share. But should we? It's about 10 o'clock. Is this a natural breaking point, or should we play out this one more scene?
I was thinking maybe playing out the scene
Okay.
and ending there.
Okay.
If that's not too much trouble.
No. I mean, I'm in it. I'm good. Okay. Yeah. So Chella comes down and grabs a mug of coffee. Is coffee a thing? In the mornings in this place.
Sure, we can make coffee a thing.
Sure. She grabs a cup of hot something and sits down with the rest of the crew. And is everyone here now?
I think so. I'd say Brondir's returned, and he's probably like, man, that was a lot of heavy shit that got thrown at me.
Think about.
And yeah, Gerbo's probably there. I'd say Aphelian's around.
Well, how to begin? I would say that we have a problem, but the truth is that we have a lot of problems. So that doesn't seem to do our situation any justice. We have one really, really big problem. Bertrand came to me last night after we lay down to sleep and made a very disturbing suggestion. He and the other Fae seem to know that there are not just 4 portals. No, no, this wild goose chase that we've been on, closing portals in the elemental temples, is the tip of the top of the tree, my friends. There are apparently infinite portals to other worlds that Malcor and Pelora could theoretically use to access our world whenever they want. For some reason, the outsider seems to be targeting the elemental temples. I don't understand why. Perhaps because they connect to predictable places, the elemental planes, and it's easy for them, these gods or whatever they are, to find a pathway through. But even if we shut all of those, if we break our own necks closing these portals, there will still be an infinite number through which they could emerge and attack us. And so, everything that we are doing is in vain. And we might as well, as Bertrand put it, run away, like the other queen did. How can we know? You can only detect portals whenever you're very close by. We've only covered such a very small part of this world. We've already seen evidence of 3 of these places. You're talking about it like it's a progression, like things only get worse. How much time do we have until they get that much worse, until we can no longer keep up with all the places that begin to thin and open up and leave us vulnerable? Can we really close down every single one as it opens? Chella is going to roll insight to see if Aphelion
is spitballing or really knows what she's talking about.
Dang.
Nice.
It's good insight.
It's really good insight.
I mean, I would say that Aphelion probably knows a good deal of what she's talking about. Yeah, Amderlos has probably told her stuff. I mean, actually, the very this is kind of funny. The very fact that Aphelion is here under the supervision of Amderlos means that this world, that is proof alone that the Everqueen and her group don't think it's as bad as it actually is. Right? Because I mean, Aphelion's not that high up in the ranks, but anyway. Sorry.
Maybe. So, okay, fair enough. Fair enough, Aphelion. I can't argue with your experience, but let me ask this. After what happened in my homeland in the Red Woods, we've seen the power of what one emergence, one encounter with these gods can do. It seems to me they would only need one open portal somewhere in this world to get in and destroy everything. I don't know what I'm getting at. I can't give up on this any more than any of you are willing to, I'm sure, but I don't know what to do with this information. We to just keep running around stamping out tiny fires every time they pop up for the rest of our lives?
If there were infinite portals, and there may be, Pelora and Malcor would have just surely destroyed this plane already. Maybe the reason they're going for these elemental temples is because there's another source of power in there that's much greater. Like, like there are doors in a mansion, but only one leads into the main chamber. Maybe that's what they're going for. And that's why these temples are being targeted. So not to say that they can't enter through our plane, but the amount of destruction may be limited to these temples that we know of, these elementals.
Because the map is drawn.
They're thin spots.
And you know where
portals.
they connect to. It's like a logical connection. What I'm hearing from all of you is that we just stay the course, ignore, pretend Bertrand never said anything. This has no meaning whatsoever. It doesn't change our plans at all.
I'm not saying that Bertrand shouldn't be worried, but from what I know of the Fey realm, I would be pessimistic too if I were him, knowing what I do know, which isn't much, but the picture that Felix has painted is devastating. And we can't let Bertrand keep us down, though we should heed his advice to an extent.
You hear Felix in your head now. Been a while. He's gonna say, "Hey, Bertrand is always a stick in the mud, even in his more cheerful moments. I'm not terribly surprised he's given in to despair."
And what say you of this? I guess time freezes when this happens. I don't know. I don't know if
It's more like you're having an inner monologue with yourself. I guess I don't know if time really freezes here or anything. But you can have a conversation with him.
Can I put like I'm taking a phone call and just told him. Speaking of the devil, Felix is in my ear right now.
I just wonder if we're thinking too small. I just wonder if this will really be enough, or if 4 people trying to stop these portals from openings, trying to stop Pelora and Malcor from exploiting him, if it's too small, if there will come a time when we need more help. And should we continue delaying finding that help, recruiting that help?
Now that is a good question, and something that has been on my mind lately. What if? First, I agree. We can close these portals, but we're never going to end this war, especially one that's been going on for as long as there have been worlds. But if we can put a stop or a halt to anything, maybe there are refugees from other worlds. Felix, Bertrand, Alexa, or all them. If we can find them, bring them through a portal, whatever it may be, we go through one. I don't know, but ultimately we're trying to save our plane, and if there's a way that we can save a plane in the future, then this all becomes, like you said, much, much bigger than we were expecting. But for now, I say we keep this in mind and focus on what we can control. And that's the Wind Temple. That's our next step. We don't know what we'll find in there.
God. Oh my God.
Bartender!
This is a Valiant's lesson in thermodynamics.
No kidding.
Please?
Yeah. Well, I thought I knew and had thought about all of the different facets of death, but that is by far the most depressing thing that anyone has ever said to me.
Thalian, we're thankful for your presence and your help in this. Any advice that we can gain from the Everqueen, we will take. Now, I have some news to share as well. Less devastating, but hopefully a step forward. I've spoken with Lord Edwin and discussed several things. First of which is the Aarakocra. In my time here, and even in Edwin's lifetime, Aarakocra are very sparse. And it sounds as if, in his words, one of the masters of the Wind Temple, of which the Aarakocra populate, met with a stranger. And I can't help but think that the stranger is our same one we know as the outsider. For this master went back and created ruin, devastation, really set the Wind Temple off course to where it's falling apart from the inside. That's a loose narrative. I know very little. I could have gotten that wrong. So some voice from above called Dungeon Master may more clarity in that. But the point being, this Wind Temple is not far. If we can find an Aarakocra and follow it, maybe we'll come across it. And
ride on its little talons.
I did say I do know that the Aarakocra do correspond with Lord Edwin, and I offered our assistance. He said we'd have response in about a day, half a day or so. But in the meantime, we can go with Dahlia and root out some Malchites.
I rather like your first idea, and in fact, it did the very thing last night.
Excuse me, I can't say I'm surprised that you'd fly off without telling us.
It wasn't very far. The Wind Temple is on the peninsula, and everything that I did meet the Aarakocra. What he said aligns with what you learned. I mentioned all the corruption we're seeing to him, and he suggested to me that they had their own problems in the temple and were trying to fix them. But he certainly didn't seem eager to help. Hopefully an introduction from the Lord Mayor will help us get inside.
Well, maybe an introduction on two separate fronts will make our legitimacy stronger in the true gesture we're trying to present here, and that's to help something much more than ourselves. So, in the meantime, we're waiting.
Now that is a good point.
We need to think a step ahead. I don't know what that is.
Well, there are only so many elemental temples, and from what my aunt has told me, the Earth Temple is almost certainly affected, and from what we saw in Retria, the Fire Temple is almost certainly affected. If we've shut those down, then I wonder where the next logical place would be for him to go.
That's a good question.
Perhaps Omdilos would have some kind of insight, Aphelion.
We'll be back.
Okay.
Well, I think that's good.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
Yes.
we can follow this day up with a trip to the Malchite Helm, which would be fun, and we'll get some action in.
Yeah.
I'll get all my spooky spells ready.
Yeah.
That's
That's right, boy.
right.
Awesome. Well, I'm excited to go root out some Malchites with 3 tieflings, or at least
Right? Yeah,
That'll be
we're
fun.
gonna have a good crew. It will be fun.
so.
I've got it on the calendar for 2 weeks from now, the 16th.
All right.
Probably be late again that week. My hours are kind of long this month, unexpectedly.
You're on
I'm on
nephrology.
nephrology.
You were, I mean, I guess just keep us in the loop when the day comes.
Yeah.
Because it really didn't affect much this time. So
Thank you for giving us a little bit more time for me to wrap up my calls. But yeah, I'll keep you posted. The day of, I'll check in a few times.
So I have tickets to the basketball game on the 16th.
Oh, okay.
Cool.
That sounds fun.
We can bump it to Monday or Wednesday.
Yeah.
Either of those would be fine. Well, I don't, Brett. What about you could be busy on Monday, right? Not that Monday? Okay.
Cool.
Yeah. Does Monday the 15th work?
Yeah, that should work unless, unless told otherwise.
Okay.
Cool.
Oh.
What
is this?
Oh,
is this Aphelion and the Hero Forge?
So cool.
I still need to do that. I still need to do the Hero Forge.
Nice.
Of my new character.
I love the little frost patterns on the ground.
Oh, that's great.
Nice.
Oh, and her lips are like dark and frosty. Yeah.
That's good. That's good.
Yeah, that's great.
Brad, that looks so cool.
Yeah, that's very cool.
I love the metal you chose for her weapon too.
Yeah.
It's like the force weapon, right? Kind of, or is it the cold?
She's got.
Yeah. Yeah.
That is so cool.
That's very cool.
Awesome.
I do think it would have been great if we just ended it on Aphelian's monologue about death, and that was it.
I'm sorry for interrupting that. I thought that was an incredible nihilist piece of literature.
Yes, that was funny. Yes.
Oh, now I'm pulling up Brondier's little figurine, and now I'm gonna pull up Chalice.
I guess I need to do mine.
Yeah.
Yeah, they've definitely improved a lot on these designs and stuff.
It gives so much more diversity, so much more detail to the.
I think you could do like tattoos on them.
Yeah, that would be cool.
Probably.
That's
maybe not.
That would be easier probably to do by hand anyway.
Yeah, could be.
So awesome.
This is a pretty good approximation of Aphelion, though, I will say.
Yeah.
That's old school Brondier, back when he had his cape and everything.
Yeah.
Before his chest plate. But
yeah.
That's very cool.
It's awesome.
But cool guys.
Looks so
good
bad.
sesh. I love these sessions.
It's good to see you guys.
Yes.
Fun session.
Okay. Well, we will see you in 2 weeks.
We'll see you in 2 weeks.
Yes.
Thanks, Drew. Thank you as always.
Right.
Good job. I think we start. I forget to say that a lot now.
Bar. I actually, so I think it's the Greeks and the Romans. So I think maybe the Greeks in particular, they called them barbarians because they kept for them. So blah, blah, blah was bar. Like speaking in their bar gibberish.
Oh, interesting.
Yes. So I just kind of thought of that and was like, you know what? There, fine. They heard barbarian, bar. They're drunken idiots. They'll latch onto those bits of words. But anyway,
I need to make a Photoshop of all these figurines next to each other. They look really cool.
The team.
Yeah.
It's a shame. I guess I could try and recreate Emilio in this and see what happens.
Yes. Freaking Emilio.
The legend.
Yeah, absolute legend. Love it so much. Okay, later, y'all.
Bye.
Bye.
See ya.